Today we're gonna make a sampled 90s style Boombap beat inspired by J Dilla, Ninth Wonder, and all the best producers from that era. We're gonna pick out a record, record a loop into the DAW, then pitch it, chop it, play with it, all the good stuff to turn it into a fire beat. Some serious gems were dropped in this video on how to make your beats full and give them that pop. Alright guys, so I like to get my samples from YouTube. Normally I just search up my favorite jazz or soul artists and then go down the YouTube loophole until I find something I like. Right now we're working with the Heath Brothers. The song's called My Moon. It's a dope track. Just check it out. Alright, so normally in tracks I'm looking for something without drums preferably, and with instruments that occupy a nice chunk of the frequency range. So for example, here we've got bass, we've got piano chords, and we've got a nice top melody. From that track I sampled in this little loop. And you know what we do, we're gonna open a MIDI track, drop the loop right into our MIDI track to open simpler. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna pitch this down by 8 semitones. Pitching it down will elongate those melodies and make it more choppable. Then I'm gonna slice it by region. Since it's quite a long loop, I'm gonna slice to 32 slices instead of 16. When you have a chop like this one where the transient is a bit after the start of the chop, you can use the nudge parameter to set the start of the chop where you want it to. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all the chops until they're all nice and even. Alright, let's get a loop going with the metronome. Our BPM is 84, and let's see if we can come up with something nice. Alright, I think we've got something dope. Let's check it out. One. Now let's go in and make this sound a bit more gritty. The first thing we're gonna do is put a compressor on this. I'm just using the Ableton stock compressor. Then of course we're gonna add some RC20. Okay, that's sounding pretty fire now. Let's go in and add some drums. So when your 16th hi-hat loops are too fast or too slow, you can transpose them up to make them faster, transpose them down to make them slower. To control all your samples in a drum rack, right-click on Transpose, Map to Macro 1. Do that for every sample in the rack that you want to change. And now on the left, you change all of them contemporarily. So I'm going to put them all up by 1 to make them a little bit faster. Now my snares are to the grid, but I want them all to be slightly early. Instead of moving every note backwards, I'm going to go onto the right side here of my Ableton session and click on this D. It was already activated. And you can move any track forward or backwards by how many milliseconds you want. I'm just going to put all of them back by -20. When your drum tracks are sounding empty, add a shaker and sidechain the shaker to your kick and to your snare so that it glues everything together without getting in the way. I'm actually going to add that double sidechain also to my hats. Now if your snares are starting to sound repetitive, put a tambourine on every second snare hit. That will give a bit of sparkle, a high end to every second hit, but leave every first hit nice and snappy. Drums were just about there. Now let's go add some bass. You know what, I'm using the Keybase plugin, in my opinion the best sub bass for lo-fi and Boombap. If you're struggling to find the bass notes of a sample, take an EQ and low pass down to the bass frequencies. Solo the sample. That way you can hear which bass notes fit more clearly. Now I'm hearing an organ on this, like a gospel organ, so I'm gonna go ahead and open Contact. Alright, so I think we're just about there. Before exporting your Boombap beats, to make sure they are as fire as you think they are, take an acapella from a hip hop song you love, drop the verse into there and hear how it sounds over your beat. If it matches and you vibe to it, the beat is good to go. If not, try again. I'm gonna drop a verse in now and we'll go down to the garage to do the car test.
You're on point, Fife.
Once again, Tip. Watch me bust they shit.
Okay.
This is the year that I come in and just devastate. My style is great, action peoples cannot dominate. My rhymes are...
Alright guys, I hope you liked the video, the beat, and the music. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment below, a like, and a share. You know how much it helps me on my journey. For now, have a great night, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.